This morning, our stakeholders, participants in the search for the startup businesses.
City Planning and Development Office.
Usually ito nasa end ng presentation, but I'll be placing it sa introduction. So in defining the future of the economy, one says that the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So IT. So that kind of what we call one would be that in 2030. This is in Aquino administration. So in national level, we recorded our record-breaking GDP of 7.8%. All station on health intervention, right? So another one, we have 2022, the post-pandemic recovery. So this is the rise of e-commerce na talaga. So Shopee, Lazada, other digital payments, no? It's why we see the micros are vulnerable, no? Suffered the most during the COVID-19 pandemic due to combination of structural vulnerabilities and limited resources. Many micro businesses, especially in retail, food, and personal services, were forced to close or suspend. So in 2023 and 2024, we have other services with 15% growth rate, followed by human health and social work activities at 10.7%, accommodation with 6.7%, professional and business services at 6.3%, finance innovation, as Mayor Biason said, na rank 1 tayo. First, we have in infrastructure, but we are fourth, no, in 33 HUCs in the country. So let's focus on economic dynamism. We are at 33 HUCs. And as you can see here, usually ang diagram nito, yung ating web diagram should be malaki, yung kanyang circle. But in the diagram of LED. So why? To create better conditions for economic growth, employment generation, and quality life for all. And its purpose is to build the economic capacity of a local area to improve its economic future. So nasa loob tayo ng Muntinlupa, we need to create economic prosperity, right? Now, another one is the demographic dividend. So a demographic dividend is the potential for accelerated growth that occurs when a country's population age structure shift to a larger proportion of working age people compared to dependents, no, yung young and old dependents natin. So let's see. If you go to the website of population.io, I inputted my birth date, no, which is September 20, 1996. Makikita dito na I am 46% older than the world's population. And in the Philippines, I am older than 55% of the population of the Philippines. So nasa gitna ako because the median age is at 24 years old. So maybe kayo po, kapag naglagay kayo ng birth date ninyo, maybe higher, no, higher of the percentage. So we are a young population in the Philippines. Okay? So as you can see here in the latest census of the PSA, we are at 552,225. And with the age-sex pyramid, if you can read po here, no, male, female, and then malaki yung ating 0 to 4 years old. Pero this one naman po is 2020 pa na age-sex pyramid because the PSA di pa sila nagre-release ng kanilang age-specific na structure ng population natin. But in general, we are majority working age population with 15 to 64%. 15 to 64 years old with 66%. No? And our dependence is at 26% for young, and for old is at 8%. No? So this is a competitive advantage natin in terms of the population. Malaki yung working, konti lang yung dependents natin. Alright? So this one naman yung mga population pyramid natin in terms of the countries. Ito, for example, the negative growth ng Germany, Bulgaria, Hungary, especially Japan. No, working talagang aging population sila and mahina ang babagal ang kanilang growth. No? Actually, negative growth rate nga sila. And another joke nga, hindi siya pyramid kundi coffin yung itsura ng pyramid. No? Kasi marami ang red. No? Marami yung red, marami yung older population natin. Compare to the working age which is at yellow shade. No? Also, konti lang din yung nanganganak. I mean, konti lang yung young population with the blue one. No? So, again, in the census release, with the census year of 2020, we have 543,000. And in 2024, we are at 552. No? Imagine in 5 years, almost 8,000 lang yung nadagdag in the population. That's why we recorded a 0.39% growth rate. No? Maraming nangyari nung pandemic. No? Baka hindi na rin sila nag-anak. Nung mga panahon na yan, baka ayaw na nilang mag-reproduce. So that's why we have this kind of growth rate at 0.39%. So maximize productivity of the existing workforce through upskilling and innovation. Encourage labor force participation, especially among women and older adults. Now for opportunities for growth, so this one is for tourism. No? So according to the data of TICAD, our tourism office, they map out a 4,738 tourist-oriented and related establishment. While as per the preliminary data from BPLO, it's double the volume with 8,000 plus tourist-oriented establishment. No? So in approximate 36,000 ang employment for tourism-oriented and related establishment na share with 16%. Okay? Now, in terms of the demand on hotel arrivals, the data shows that 5.5 average length of stays in nights. The total guest nights for 2024 is at 311,604. Okay? So, yan. So, 2% ang increase ng ating hotel arrivals in Muntinlupa with 389,707 in 2024. So as we break down the data, 68% are Philippine residents and 32% are foreign, no, from abroad. So just a question lang. So alam niyo po ba yung logo na yan? Nakita niyo na po ba yung logo? Naku, bangka. No, bangka. Actually, it's a logo of our ASEAN, no? ASEAN Philippines 2026. We are hosting ASEAN next year. No, napakalaking market. Ayan, so alam niyo na po. So maraming Pilipino ayon sa survey shows Filipinos generally have low awareness of the ASEAN, no? Tayo daw pong in the Philippines, we are outliers sa pagdating sa ASEAN neighbors natin. Bakit daw po? Wala daw tayong border sa kanila. Unlike Thailand, they bordering di ako mahina sa geography. So, they are bordering Myanmar, Cambodia yata, and Malaysia bordering Indonesia. No? So, yun po. Also, na-colonize tayo ng colonizers. Nag-iba yung outlook natin. Very westernized ang ating perspectives. No? And sa kanila, na-retain nila yung ganyang paniniwala. So, if we capture the Southeast Asian market at 16%, no? Malaking bagay na po yun, lalo na pagdating sa next year na preparation natin. So in terms of hotels, handa bang hotels in halal tourism? No? Usually iba talaga yung pumunta po ako sa Malaysia, wala talagang pork. No? Hanapin ko yung pork. Wala talaga. So we need to have this kind of initiatives then in targeting the market for Southeast Asians. And for East Asian, we have 50%, no, ng ating foreign hotel arrival. So, as you can see, for the DOT, Visitor Sample Survey, ang South Koreans with 24,000 na pumunta sa Muntinlupa, they are students. Yung profile nila, students, families, and youth. No? Usually ang students nag-aaral po ng English. No? Yan po yung kanilang market. Yun po yung need nila. And also kapag malamig sa Korea, pumupunta talaga sila sa warmer countries. No? So ano ba yung need nila? Bilingual services, safe corridors, cashless mobility. We have the Japanese at 21,000. Affluent, no? MICE, yung meeting incentive and conference exhibitions. Ang background and family. They need punctual shuttles, bilingual wayfinding, bookable leisure near venue. So yun po yung mga need ng Japanese sector, no? Ng mga Japanese visitors natin. And Chinese at 14,000, they are also students. And Americans, ang background nila are visiting friends, no? Mga balikbayan po ito, relatives, and MICE, high spending po yung market ng US. So that's why we need to capture this kind of sectors, no? Also with the creative economy, as advocacy of the DTI, in Muntinlupa, we have approximately 660 number of registered creative businesses. So those kind of sectors or businesses are cinema, embroidery shop, handicraft, woodcraft, etc. So malaking market for creative economy. And ito yung mga pillars niya, yung corridors niya. So we have the AVR, digital interactive media domain, creative service domain, design, publishing. We have the performing arts, visual arts, traditional, cultural side. So if we can have stronger creative industry plan, so malaki yung potential niya to boost or stimulate our local economy. So to wrap up, no? So we need to have equal opportunities for all. So results may vary because of many different factors, but we can strive to ensure that everyone has equal access to opportunities. No? So yun po. And as final slide, so ito po yung ating status of SDG localization, because the 7K agenda is based from the UN SDG goals. So we are seeing now dapat 100% lahat yan by 20. Ano po expiration ng SDG? 2030. No? Ilan na lang natitirang taon. So 25 na ngayon, 5 years. So we need to strengthen talagang ang initiatives natin. But there are positive growth rates talaga, especially in poverty, responsible consumption and production. So almost more than half ng ating localization ng SDG. And to leave you the final note, let's leave no one behind, as SDG goals mentioned. So maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. San Juan, for that comprehensive overview. At this point, we would like to invite our speakers, Mr. Ian and Mayor Rufy Biazon on stage to join us in awarding the Certificate of Appreciation. This Certificate of Appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Christian Mark S. San Juan for their invaluable contribution as a distinguished speaker during the 2025 Muntinlupa Business Summit with the theme Driving Innovation, Strengthening Partnerships, Sustaining Growth. Given this 25th day of November 2025 at the Bellevue, Manila, Alabang, Muntinlupa City. Signed by Honorable Rosana Rufino B. Biazon, Mayor, City of Muntinlupa.